What's going on, Canes fans, and welcome to another Final Thoughts episode, Week 2, Miami versus FAMU. And if you haven't noticed, I do have a guest with me for today's episode, my dog, Max. And we're going to see how this goes. He's never joined me for one of these episodes before, but really this is his couch. I'll be honest, he's taken it over since we got him earlier this year. So I don't feel right kicking him off of it, right? So he's going to join us for this episode. And why we do this is just to give some final thoughts on the game. You know, maybe I've had a change of heart with some things, just, you know, some other things maybe that have come up throughout the week. You know, it's the day before kickoff, about 24 hours. And I'm here to say that I have not changed my mind at all. This is an FCS team. This is FAMU. Look, it's no disrespect, but Miami's going to take care of business. And Miami's going to take care of business in a big way. But I also think at the same time in a respectful way. And what I mean by that is I don't expect Mario to pour it on late in the fourth. If Miami's already up, 40, 50 plus, I don't think he's going to put 60, 70, 80 on these guys. And maybe he does. Look, this Miami Hurricanes team is fully capable of doing that. I think we might see scenarios where they are, taking their foot off the gas, so to say, just a little bit. But the offense is so darn good that they're scoring points when they're not even trying to go 100%, when you have the backups in. Really more so what I'm interested in seeing in this game, and let me know if you agree, if this has crossed your mind. I want to see if FAMU plays Miami better than Florida did. Florida could only muster 17 points. Their starting quarterback couldn't even throw for more than 100 yards. So let's see how FAMU does. Can they put up more than 17? I don't think so. I've got them at 7. I'll show the score prediction again. I'm sticking with it. 52-7. Miami victory. But I want to see how the stats look after this game. I know there are a lot of different variables, at play, and you can't directly compare FAMU to Florida just because they played Miami, but Florida did have home field advantage in that one. FAMU's playing at the Rock. So I want to see what happens, man. Daniel Richardson is not a bad quarterback. Really what's interesting with him is he's only 5'10". So we're going to see how he does. Miami has this monstrous D-line, and is he going to be able to get the ball out? He's only been sacked once, I believe, going into this game. So how many times is he going to get sacked against Miami? They have playmakers on the outside. They have skill position guys. They have a lot of South Florida dudes on their team. They got Thad Franklin, former Miami Hurricane. They got Quan Lee, someone who Miami wanted but didn't choose Miami, went to UCF and now plays at FAMU. They have some football players on that team, but there's just no way they can handle the trenches with Miami. There's no way that they can go 4 quarters, head to head with Miami. It's not going to happen. The depth is not there. They've got some talent, but there's just no way. These two teams just do not match up. There's no way that FAMU can hang. And I saw a lot of people who said in my preview video, Coop, like, hey, anything can happen. And you're right. Miami has been upset by teams in the past, teams that should not have beaten Miami, but it ain't going to happen, bro. Listen, it's not going to happen. I would say put the mortgage on Miami, but you literally can't bet on this game. The odds are just so much in Miami's favor. I don't even see any lines for this game. It's just you can't even touch it because Miami's just favored by so much. But I really want to keep an eye on that, comparing Florida and FAMU, just because I think that would be a good time to continue to poke at their fan base for yet another week because they want to fire Billy. They don't want anything to do with Mertz now. Hold on, there's a treat bowl over here, so that's what he's over here begging for. And let's see. Number one, give Cam Ward an opportunity to play another game in this offense. He needs the reps, before we get to the big ACC games. But also at the same time, let's see some of these young guys. Will we see JoJo Trader? Will we see Nye Carr? Will we have a chance for Zaquan Patterson, to get some reps? Will we see Hill, the transfer at corner? Some of these other guys, that didn't get to play or didn't get to play much against Florida, hopefully we get an opportunity here to see them in this one. But let's not forget the importance of more reps for these guys offensively and defensively for the starters. I know everybody's going to be calling for Mario to pull them, because we don't want anybody to get injured if we're up, 40 points at the start of the third quarter. But Mario himself has even said we need to get these guys some reps, because we have some feel-good games here. FAMU, Ball State, USF. So we have to make sure that those guys get some playing time and they get very comfortable in this offense and defense before we move on to the tougher teams. I mean, took care of business week 1, handled that challenge against the Gators handedly, easily, I would say. And now, give them a chance to really get dialed in and maybe at times go a little experimental mode. Take some chances. Let's iron some things out and see how it goes. But I really think that Mario has a lot of respect for FAMU's head coach. He's got a lot of respect for that program. So even though you want to beat them by a lot, you want to give your guys an opportunity to play and get their stats up, and you want to make a statement, because it is important to beat the teams that you should beat in a big way. We don't want to beat FAMU 31-17. You really got to come in and throw a beat down on these guys. But again, I'm talking late game. I'm talking late game here. I think Mario might go the respect route. And again, I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But there's just there's not a whole lot to say about this game because it's FAMU. It's FAMU. No one in their right mind out there is going to be picking FAMU to win this football game. It's still going to be fun to watch, but nobody's going to pick them to win. Miami's gonna roll. Miami's gonna handle business. I do like the uniform combo. They're doing orange over orange, the orange jerseys, the orange pants with the white helmet. And I saw that they said that Cam Ward is the one, I believe, who chose that. And it's interesting to see that they said Mario is giving him some freedom. He's allowing him to make some of these decisions. And we know that typically Mario is a very traditional guy. Mario says, hey, that's my choice. We're not doing this combo. We're not doing that. We're keeping it traditional. And I think it shows the level of trust that he has in Cam Ward. Uniform combos don't determine the outcome of a game, but the fact that he says, hey, you're the leader on this team. You're backing up what you're saying you're going to do. Hey, if you want to wear this specific uniform combo, then sure, go for it. We'll allow you to make that decision and let you do it. And I really hope, man, I really want to see the turnout at Hard Rock. They're really pushing. The players are begging for the fans to show up. I know it's only FAMU, but it's Cam Ward's debut. It's a 6 p.m. kickoff, so it's going to start to cool down. The second half of the game will be getting into nighttime, so it should be a pretty crazy lit atmosphere. So hopefully fans do pack the Rock if you're able to make it. There's never any shade towards people who can't. I can't make it to this game. But again, it's if you can make it. If you have the ability to show up, support the team. And I know those guys would appreciate it so much because opposing teams' fans are going to be looking at anything they can to poke fun at Miami, because if we start winning, they got to start looking for other things. So they're going to bring up the attendance jokes, the rented stadium. But boy, that rented stadium, hey, it doesn't matter if we're winning football games, right? Owning the stadium for FSU didn't help them last week. Florida owning their stadium, the Swamp, it sure didn't help them against Miami, did it? All that matters is winning games. So you're going to see opposing teams' fans start to, make fun of us and laugh and stuff. But if we're packing the Rock, man, that just takes away another thing. And last thing I saw, I think it said they were down to only like 2,000 tickets left or 4,000 tickets left, which is not bad. I don't think that's necessarily totally accurate because, you're going to have people selling tickets through third-party sites and things like that. But I think you see a good turnout. Even though it's FAMU, I think the turnout is there because fans want an opportunity to see Cam Ward play in a Miami Hurricanes uniform, and the tickets are cheap. So, for this one, it's still going to be expensive even if they suck for Florida State, right? Tickets for that are still going to be through the roof. But here, FAMU, here's your chance. Bring the whole fam. Watch Miami play a football game. See Cam Ward. So I think that it'll be a decent turnout. I didn't talk a whole lot of football in this Final Thoughts video. I know I didn't, but Miami has the advantage in every position group. FAMU can't handle the trenches. They have a big O-line. I will say this. They have a big, solid O-line. Again, their quarterback, Daniel Richardson, has thrown for almost 600 yards in 2 games. No interceptions. They do have a bit of a fumbling problem, but they don't match up. I mean, skill position-wise, yes, they have some playmakers there, but can Daniel Richardson even get them the ball? And in trenches, Miami is going to dominate. Special teams, Miami is going to dominate. It should not even be close. FAMU, I think, is capable of scoring. I'm seeing a lot of people give them 13 to 17 points. I don't think it's quite that much, but who knows? Maybe in garbage time. Look at this guy. He's getting real comfortable, isn't he? Now, this guy, though, hey, this guy right here picked FAMU to win. I don't know if you guys caught my preview video. I don't know if he got the bowls mixed up or what happened, if he just wants to be different, for my pick. But he picked the upset. This guy right here picked FAMU to win. So I think that he's going to be upset on Saturday night when the team that he picked doesn't get the dub. But it is what it is. I got Miami winning big. Let me know your final thoughts in this one. FAMU, I think they might be the second best team in the state of Florida. It's probably USF, really, but we'll see. Second or third best team in the state of Florida with the way that Florida is playing and Florida State is playing, which is pretty funny, But let me know your final thoughts going into this game. It's a shame that we don't get to see the band unless there's some sort of last-minute change, which I don't think is going to happen. Miami's paying FAMU $700,000 to play this game, and they offered $40K additional to bring the Marching 100, their band, which is a phenomenal band. Absolute blast to watch them play. But I do understand $40K not being enough, feeding, housing, all that stuff. So totally understandable. I'm not going to pretend to know all the financials when it comes to that stuff. But it is just a bummer because it would have been cool to see them, for Canes fans and for FAMU fans that travel there. And it's exposure. At the end of the day, this is still exposure for FAMU. So if they come out and compete, it is still a good look for them. Them losing this game to Miami does not derail their season. They can still do big things this year, and no one is expecting them to win. So if they come out and even keep it competitive for a quarter or two, I think that is still a pretty good look for them. I really think that it is. There's no hope for FAMU going into this one, and it's no disrespect. It's just it's reality. It's how it's gonna go down, right? So hey guys, let me know your thoughts. Let's chop it up down in the comment section below. I think it's time for me to get down and wrestle with this boy right here. So remember though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I gotta say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. I can't really throw it up because I got a dog in my lap. I got a microphone in my hand, but you know how we do. I'll see y'all in the next one.